This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day. Remember when me tell you say I got that day. Yeah, I remember that one that called aspirations. But the way you go like a papa nuku. But them way go hero. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi samiro. Me tell you what I day. For me the plan and the rest of man I tell you what I do. Me never give up. Me tell them say what
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore their pride. May your soul rest in peace.
And I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. My other Biafrans, if for freedom had to die, we will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, forever be a part.
They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front, without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now, if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart, forever, 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 and never, and never, and never.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of our people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bummed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali, 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 Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in our heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes of our fallen heroes.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them a motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire, yeah.
They paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. us. Yeah, you know what it is.
I'm looking at myself.
We must revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
Akarịrị m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma chọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ehi niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị chighata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakọta anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wuzi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ihe ngwa gị gbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe a rụgidere ụlọ anọ ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwekwu ka nwee mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị nrụkọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe na ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye gara ndụ kpakụ onye rie niile ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwekwe n'ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro ekwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ọmụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anyị agaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ
akụkọ akọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi wee kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo awụkpafu n'obodo Naijiria karịa
ọ bụ site na akpọmasị ihe na-eme anyị dị ka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu ọkụka mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe kegbuo anyị nwu nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na na-esi etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu o doo na nyere onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi a sị na-achọghị ụdị nka ọ bụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ
onye si na ya ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọhịa nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra were ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi na-ekwu ndị iro anyị anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizoba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe dịtụ ozu ọ bụ ọkọwa mgbe emilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo ememiri Fero sikwa otu a mee ka Fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu
junior ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụbụ nwa bụ ekekere n'igwe n'ụwa nwunye ọbụla kere gị nweghị mmalite nweghị ọgwụgwụ kama anyị nwe anyị gwa amakwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ na ogbu gị na nọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very evening section. I appreciate every one of you that has connected. You're welcome. We appreciate you. Like and share the program to other platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to those who wish to listen to us or those who you know that this message here will be helpful to them. So this evening, as always, we are going to take it very brief, speaking on the same subject we talked about in the morning. There are so many things that is happening now that we must pay attention to. More especially, we pay attention to the procurement of a very dangerous substance by Nigerian government. And we are much concerned because of the presence of our leader in their camp. We are worried. So as we speak this evening, I still want to remind everybody that in this platform, we do not come to instigate violence. We don't come to promote hate. We do not come to attack anybody or persons. We are not attacking any race or religion. As always, the only thing we do here is to present Biafra to the world as a remedy to the failed state Nigeria. That is the assignment we have taken, and we will continue to go on that assignment until it is fully completed and Biafra is free. So we're going to be speaking this evening, as we said, still on the same subject. If you see the title, you will know that this has to do with the same subject. The life of Nnamdi Kanu in detention. With the revelation that came from El-Rufai, we don't have to throw it under the cupboard. El-Rufai, we know, is one of the terrorists, and he's one of those who brought terrorists into the country. And the person he is exposing, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, is also a terrorist and a criminal. So when you hear that a very dangerous substance gets into their hand, you need to be worried. These are the people running the affairs in Nigeria today. And the most disturbing is that our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is in their net. We don't know who they want to use that chemical on. We don't know how or when they want to apply that chemical. So we have to be very careful, and we must have to continue to talk until the international community pay attention. We demand to know how that very chemical substance was procured, how it was brought in, and for what purpose, and where is it kept now. This is a very dangerous time in Nigeria, a time that the government of the country is in the hand of the terrorists. Having such instruments of mass destruction in the hand of a terrorist is very dangerous. A lot of revelation have come, how his phone is being tapped and bugged, and now how the security advisor procured substance. What other thing have they done that they didn't tell us? As time goes on, we will begin to hear more things, because I believe a lot has happened that we do not know. But by the special grace of Chukwu Abiyama, we are going to be following them closer. We'll be listening to them, and by grace of Chukwu Abiyama, all their evil plan will be exposed. So, my fellow Biafran, wherever you are, do not give up, do not relax, continue to add your voice, continue to speak, because Nigeria is not a nation. As we speak, the country is in chaos. You can imagine those of them who say they believe in their so called one Nigeria, they think they can change anything, come on to sign a bill for electronic transfer of election, of vote. They refuse to show you that the fraud in Nigeria is foundational and they defend and protect that fraud in the open. They don't care. They don't care. And that was how Nigeria was meant to function in chaos. It's only those of you who do not understand and think you can change something. But to the people that put Nigeria in place, it is working for them. They are not worried, they are not disturbed. It is only those of us who are genuinely seeking for a peaceful environment where we can strive. We are the ones that are worried. And that is why we will not stop. We will not stop until the right thing is done. And the most important thing and the lasting thing that can be done is nothing but disintegration. I will say it again and again because it's a solution that has been tested and trusted. Changing government or changing power does not change anything. It will still be the same old story. Every time the same old story. So wherever you are watching this program from, I thank you for being part of the program. But as you join and you're part of the program, you have a lot to do. You have to join in sharing this information and make sure that it gets to who you need to get to. You never can tell. Maybe it is that one that you will share, that someone out there will see, look into it, and then pay more close attention to Nigeria. I am worried about that chemical substance. If you are not worried, I'm worried. We have families there in the country of Nigeria. Our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is there in Sokoto under the people that procured that substance. You will not understand. But I bet you we must not keep silent. Because if we keep silent, it is going to be worse. Something much more worse and dangerous is going to happen. So I urge every one of us, wherever you are, to please, in the name of Chukwu Kabiam, do everything you can to make sure that the voice of Biafran people is being heard. There is a very critical situation at hand, and we cannot pretend we are not seeing it. We can't pretend it's not happening. Every single one of us must begin to act now. We must not look away. Because when you look away from this problem, it will grow and become to an extent that you cannot be able to control. I said it at the beginning of this year that every broadcast that has to be made, mostly those of us that are on the media, we must make it fruitful, something that has to be fruitful. So my fellow Biafrans, today was a very busy day for me. I couldn't be able to handle it, but I just tried as much as possible to come up and do what I have to do. So, do your own part. Speak whenever you can, in your offices, your friends, your neighbors, any place you are, continue to speak so that our voice be heard. So now we're going to go into the media to also show what is happening in Abuja as the protest is going on. And as usual, you know the terrorist government do not tolerate anything protest. They use their tear gas to shield them shaking. And everywhere it is tear gas everywhere. And people are running helter skelter. Many people are hurt. We are going to try to go there and see the update, but before then, let us see some of other updates also that they have here for us. That is the main reason we're here, to bring out updates and flash our mind to certain things that have not been seen or they are hidden. So let's go on this. This one says Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, 5 other Muslim countries reject Israel's action on West Bank. This one says lawyer to journalist detained on order of Niger governor Bago aids demand release, end to illegal detention. Illegal detention is the order of the day in Nigeria. They will never change. Osun government denies owing local government workers salary, says 230 billion allocation still withheld. What you are seeing here is the protest in Abuja today. You see everywhere is colored in smoke because people were peacefully protesting and demanding for the electronic transfer of votes. Instead of listening to them as usual, they bring out their tear gas. And I heard that they use another gas substance that we do not know. You see why we are complaining and talking about that gas that they went and bought. You don't know when they are going to apply it. You don't know when they're going to use it. That is why we are calling on the United Nations, calling on the United States to pay attention, to scrutinize them and ask them what and why do they go and bring that. Police fire tear gas at peaceful protesters demanding electronic vote transmission at National Assembly. That is what is happening today. You can't trust anybody in that zone. Woman tearfully recount alleged rape inside Lagos apartment, shared threat messages from suspect. That is Nigeria for you. Suspected bandit flouted huge sum of ransom on TikTok amid call for digital tracking. See? You see? Bandit collect money, they carry their ransom, they use TikTok. They make their TikTok and they share it, they pose with the money they collected from ransom. The millions of naira they collected in ransom, they pose with it in TikTok. Nigeria cannot track them. Nigeria cannot track them, but individuals can track and hack the phone of NSA. National Security Advisor's phone can be hacked, but Nigerians and their government cannot be able to track bandits that is using ordinary cell phone. What a shame. If it were to be an ordinary person, they would have apprehended him with immediate effect. Rowdy session in National Assembly over move to reverse real-time electronic transmission in Electoral Act. They are still fighting at that. Just put real time. They don't want to put it. They are still playing games. This one say they do, this one say they did it, this one say they did, this one say they did it. One joint military operation destroyed 3 bandit camp in Kogi, rescue kidnapped victim. This one in Kogi. This one they showed the video. Might be true because anytime they show video, you know that they did. But when they begin to show us picture, you know that nothing happened. This is bandit camp. They can do, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Rural petition Ogun Police Command over alleged compromise in Shagamu crash that killed 2 passengers. Your warship will go down. This terrorist threatening US. This terrorist in Iran is threatening US. Your warship will go down to the bottom of the sea. Iran Supreme Leader Khamenei warns US amid rising tension. They are warning US. Your time is numbered. Lagos Domestic Violence Agency moved to locate woman who recounted rape, seeks public help. 7-month-old baby affected gasp for breath as police fire tear gas during occupying us protests. See, even when they know there are children there, children, 7-month-old baby. That is a very useless country. This is protest in National Assembly. Those of them who want the electoral listen to be changed, they are protesting. And those who is favoring the Tinubu people, they don't care. They are rejoicing. Opposition House of Rep members stage mass walkout. The opposition members, they stage mass walkout amidst electoral bill dispute. Chant APC Ole. They stage walkout. Let's see how it ends. Nigeria is not a country. That's what they are saying. This is what is happening in the National Assembly today. That's what they have. Just come on past a bill. They need to fight over it. They need to kill somebody over it. They need to arrest people over it before it will be done. Rowdy session in the National Assembly over move to reverse real-time electronic transmission in Electoral Act amendment. They don't want to do it. Instead, they will take innocent life. This is where they are attacking the protesters in the National Assembly. They didn't allow them to pass. They did not allow them to pass. Spain ordered criminal probe into ex-Meta TikTok over alleged AI-generated child abuse content. Joint military operation destroy three bandit camp, rescue kidnapped victims in Kogi. Nurses in federal hospital protest unpaid salary, accuse Tinubu government of discrimination. They are known for that. They are known for that. Nigeria opposition House of Rep members stage mass walkout amid electoral bill dispute. Chant APC Ole. ICPC arraigns Ministry of Works Director in Abuja for alleged money laundering corruption. Is another katakata in National Assembly. How Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kanu, criminal Onyohi, clause by clause, review of controversial electoral reform bill, forcing opposition members to stage a walkout. Yeah, because I saw him. They say nay, yea or nay. Whether you say yea or nay, they know the one to choose. They have already chosen the one they will choose even before you say yea or nay. They have chosen already. Nigerian police forced to release journalists detained on order of Niger Governor Bago Aid. That's what they do. I was tear-gassed in my own country for demanding electoral transparency. Prophet El Buba. They tear-gas you. One will tell you that Nigeria is not working for anybody. I don't agree. They don't worry. Pray that they don't use those gas on you people. Rejecting electoral transmission of result could trigger revolution. Sowore wants to local National Assembly. Sowore, you are so bent on this your revolution. I wish Nigeria is a country that can do revolution. They would have done it. All this while you're shouting, but it's impossible. Revolution cannot happen in Nigeria. Nuclear energy is our right. Don't interfere. Iran Supreme Leader Khamenei accuses US of irrationality. Nuclear energy is our right. Don't interfere. You're looking for somebody to destroy. You will see it. Senior lawyer petition NBA board call for affirm Osigwe resignation over alleged election bias. mad people everywhere. Bayelsa pilot trainee sues Ezekiel founder for 1 billion over alleged aviation scholarship scam. ECOWAS court confront Nigeria over failure to enforce its judgment. Now one, I be two. Now one, I be two. All the ECOWAS judgment, the Mazin Nnamdi Kanu won, did they enforce any? They did not. Toothless backing down. Only people who doesn't know their left and right will believe all these you people and this your propaganda because we know you are toothless. You are toothless. Believing in you is having hope in you people is just being hopeless. Anybody that puts his or her hope in you people is absolutely hopeless. So, my people, let us see this. Let us listen. Get some listening from what is happening in the National Assembly. A lot is going on, and I think we need to pay attention to it and hear what is happening. However, it happens, and whoever is involved, the National Assembly is boiling. If Nigeria were to a good country, that country would have ended by now. But we'll continue to look at them and see how far they can rescue.
What is the situation now? We can see the tear gas. What's happening?
Well, it is a rain of tear gas, as you can see. The entire arrangement here has been distorted by the Nigerian police force. As you can see, we are trying to make our way out of the scene because it is raining tear gas canisters upon tear gas canisters. Few moments away, the Nigerian police force approached with extra guns, with extra policemen, and they are raining tear gas. As you can see from the visual, the protesters are trying to make their way out of the National Assembly. They are still pumping tear gas upon tear gas on demonstrators. As you can see from the video, you can see the smoke. The smoke is gradually taking the atmosphere here at the front of the National Assembly. We are seeking to take refuge at the grave of the unknown soldier, a place that is actually kept for scientific sake, but unfortunately, this is what we are seeing. It is raining tear gas upon tear gas. The policemen are not relenting, and this is what you see from the picture.
I would like to ask that you please stay safe, move as far away as possible while you still keep tabs on what's happening. I would also like to find out, I don't know if you can still hear me. Earlier on, we heard Moedesh Warrior and some protesters saying that they would not back down until their demands were met. Is it because of this agitation and this intensity that, this situation escalated this much?
Well, earlier on, the likes of Moedesh Warrior, Adewale Adebayo, OBS Equisly, as well as the former Minister of Youth and Sport Development, Solomon Dalog, they were all here and they were briefing. But all of a sudden, the entire situation spiraled out of control, and the spontaneity of the moment, the policemen here started dispersing tear gas from their guns. And as you can see, they've distorted the entire demonstration. Issa El-Buba, who was earlier briefing, was affected. Now, but there is something different from this tear gas. Because whenever it's being dispersed, we feel some sort of peppery feeling on our skin. It is not that like the usual one we know. But what we can see is that Nigerians are no longer here anymore. They've taken refuge in various places. And if you can see, some of the demonstrations are trying to take refuge in the buses that convey them here. And the policemen are clamping down on them so hard. You can see from the pictures. We are trying to move closer so we can get a better view of what is currently happening. This is what is happening. They are clamping down hard on the demonstrators. Everyone has taken refuge in any area they can. And as you can see from the pictures, they are lining up so the buses can convey them to an area of safety. So this is what is happening here at the National Assembly Basin. It is a distasteful situation, and we hope that things get better.
That is Zoological Republic for you. What you are seeing and watching is the zoo. When we say Nigeria is a zoo, this is it. Not a propaganda, it is not a blackmail, it is a fact. So when you hear us call Nigeria a zoo, it is this kind of situation where peaceful protesters are attacked.
Good afternoon.
afternoon, sir. You are live on television. That's translated now to a total declaration of war on Nigeria. This is a declaration of war against participatory democracy. I will not accept this. And for the first time, the police is using nav gas on Nigerians. They were using a compressed container that penetrates through your skin. And about 2 people have collapsed inside this place now. This is not going to be, and we are calling on Nigerians to be heading down to the National Assembly. There had to be a showdown. Votes against democracy. And we must fight to finish. We are trying to assess the National Assembly. Yes. We are trying to make we were asking them that when you go to the US, even when you are a visitor from another country, you have access to the Capitol Hall. Why can't we get into our own National Assembly without being separated by the police from so-called elected representatives of the people? We want to be part of the gallery where the emergency meeting is holding, so that we can make sure and monitor, which is within our rights as citizens. A bunch of barbarians, brutes, and they were unleashing this gas. Don't call it tear gas, because this has never happened before. That they unleash a gas from a container, a compressed container. At the moment it was unleashed on people, it was entering through our skins and our hair. And several people have collapsed. Yes. And they have been accused of importing poisonous substances. And therefore, for them to begin to release gas, I have been on the street for more than 5 years. And even during the military rule, they have never used or released gas for protesters. A peaceful protest organized by Nigeria, and they are now releasing poisonous gas, which is in a collaboration with the poisonous substances they import into this country. Yes, so we now believe that this country is being governed by people who are determined to remain their citizens. Yes, because it's an unprovoked act. We have the right to access National Assembly. Yeah, gas has happened now. We all have been tear gas. Are you relenting, or you are still here? No! They have already unleashed violence on the people. And anybody familiar with a protest that has tested the violence will be sustained, will be resolute, and continued. They wouldn't know the end of this protest now. Even if we had wanted to suspend this protest, the mere fact that they attacked the protest, they should know that they will deal with this protest in many days to come. Yes.
That is the zoological republic for you. They can talk, they can make noise, but a little action. We are not seeing them for the first time. We have known what they stand for, and that is why we do not trust them. We do not believe in them, but we will continue to report whatever comes out from there. We will keep on reporting. We will keep on sharing information with the public on the situation on the ground. So whatever happens, we will continue to make sure that we follow up. But our concern is that gas, because our Supreme Master Nnamdi Kanu is there. So we have to be concerned about that.
In headlines around the globe, first off, the Department of State Services, DSS, has filed charges against former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai at the Federal High Court in Abuja over allegations of unlawfully intercepting phone communications of the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu. Court documents reveal that El-Rufai, during a live television interview on the 13th of February, admitted to knowledge of interception. The prosecutors claim the act compromised public safety and national security, instilling fear among Nigerians. In the 3 counts charged, the DSS describes the action of the former Kaduna State Governor as being in breach of the Cybercrimes Amendment Act of 2024 and the Nigerian Communications Act of 2003. They accuse El Rufai of both direct involvement and failure to report individuals allegedly responsible for the unlawful interception. Also, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has confirmed that former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El Rufai is in its custody for questioning, with no assurance on how long he'll remain there. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale accused the former governor of causing chaos by mobilizing supporters to the commission's office. Oyewale says El Rufai is being interrogated over a range of issues, including comments he made during a recent television interview. He says while the live interview was ongoing, the Department of State Services contacted the EFCC to confirm whether its interrogation had concluded, indicating interest in questioning the former governor. Well, meanwhile, hundreds of protesters under the banner of civil society groups on Monday stormed the Kaduna State House of Assembly, demanding an update on legislature's probe into the administration of former Governor Nasir El Rufai. The demonstrators are calling for transparency and accountability over allegations of corruption and human rights violation. Arise News correspondent Missy Gabriel reports.
Carrying placards and chanting solidarity songs, the demonstrators asked lawmakers to provide updates on the investigation of former Governor Nasir El Rufai, launched in June 2024. The group referenced allegations raised during the Assembly's inquiry, including claims of misappropriation of 423 billion naira in loans and other state funds during the former governor's tenure.
No single individual will take what belongs to the public. I'm asking the question, I sit down, look at the face of Nigerian people, specifically Kaduna State and abuse access. Never. So, this is a clarion call. All hands must be on deck. Mr. Speaker, we are making this afternoon in things. I want also to ensure we watch all of these things with interest. No compromise. Every fight possibilities.
Protest leaders insist that no one is above the law, vowing to pursue all lawful means to ensure accountability if the process lacks transparency.
We must state clearly that immunity no longer applies once a public officer leaves office. Therefore, no investigation into matters of public interest should be allowed to stall or remain unresolved indefinitely. The people are asking for transparency and they deserve timely answers. Timely answers, I insist. We wonder, is Malam Nasir El Rufai above the law? Of course, no, he's not. No one individual is bigger than the state institutions.
The Speaker of the Kaduna State House of Assembly says the House stands by its findings, assuring the protesters that justice may be delayed, but it will not be denied.
The Assembly think their legitimate and constitutional duty with fact findings, submitted the report to appropriate authorities. As you all know, the Assembly does not prosecute, but to do the normal and duly process by referring all our documented findings to appropriate authorities.
The protest leaders later submitted a formal letter to the Speaker before dispersing peacefully, reaffirming their commitment to lawful civic engagement in pursuit of justice for the people of Kaduna. D.C. Gabriel, Arise News, Kaduna.
President Bola Tinubu on Monday assured Nigerians of continued economic reforms during a one-day visit to Adamawa, emphasizing citizen empowerment and inclusive growth. He praised Governor Umar Fintiri for delivering key projects in education, health, and infrastructure, noting that federal and state collaboration is driving tangible results, highlighting
and education is all the municipal
sections of the popular single market in Kano. Okay, all right. So we have a very, very brief segment this morning as we will be linking up with our first interview very shortly. But Rufai, take us from the stories this morning.
Okay, so where do I start from real quickly? As regards Kano, Yes, all of the governors all say that one word, and they're doing it so they will be aligning with the sector. No, they're doing it for their own political and selfish reasons. The earlier we know, the better it is for us. Yes, it's got to the APC, and like I was saying yesterday, except the Constitution now starts to talk about governors that defect, and when they defect to another political party, despite the political party that brought them in, they must forfeit their seats. We're not going to go very forward. That democracy will continue to be a joke, just like it's continuing to be a joke. And that's why, you see, it's based on this that we're clamoring and we're crying. I'm happy. And somebody from the Senate is coming today. We'll talk about electoral transfer because the Senate actually misconstrued facts. You know, there was a report that was cited that the Senate said, and that somebody from the Senate, a spokesperson of the Senate, was saying that you can't effectively, based on the SEC report, that you can't effectively transmit election results in most parts. That report has been found to be false. The chairman of Alton, Association of Telecom Providers, said that report is totally false. In fact, they further said, like I said rightly, that you have 197% coverage across 2G network, and you can't reach 2G network. You can't transmit, because this thing you're talking about is just 700 kilobytes. See, it will be on record, and I'm saying for the up to time, that if they don't make electronic transmission mandatory, they are enemies of democracy. Because we have nullified all the arguments, and there's no network is illogical. Chairman of Alton has come out saying, those that provide the network has come out saying we have full capacity, we've built capacity over 1 billion infrastructure worth, and they have reiterated the message of what the Senate said was wrong. So when they are parading the report of 70% broadband, foul, lies. So if they don't pass this, they're going to get an indictment on them. And it's going to be a record they had a chance to do something that they didn't do anything. Yes, everybody had his day in the FCC yesterday. They grilled him overnight. There's some conversation going on about over 423 billion. They said most of the loans he took was not properly accounted for. I mean, we've had the allegation, because I remember we had somebody on the show a couple of months down the line, maybe about last year, where they came to talk about these allegations against Rufai. He's definitely going to answer it. This ESS2 has also, filed a case in court against him as regards to phone tapping. We'll see how all of that pans out. While all of this was happening yesterday, I think that President Tinubu, sort of like passing vote of confidence on Nuhu Ribadu by saying he's doing a good job and everything. And they're going to fight and get rid of Bantra and all of that. I mean, that will come as a very soothing one for Nuhu Ribadu. I'm hearing next person, so maybe I'll allow you this one.
Thank you. Okay, 3 specific issues that I'll need to. First, as Rufai, there was an attempt to arrest him, but subsequently, he has now been more or less apprehended by the EFCC, and charges have been filed against him by the Department of State Services. Now, there are 2 issues on the table. Let me take them one by one. Now, the Department of State Services is filing charges against him on the basis of Section 37 of the 1999 Constitution, which says that individuals, all of us, have the right to privacy, and no one has the power to breach that privacy. The Cybercrime Act also criminalizes the invasion of people's privacy in terms of wiretapping, in terms of phone tapping, in terms of what they say in private. And the issue here is that Madam Nasir Rufai appeared on Arise TV and then alleged that someone gave him information that had been compromised on the National Security Advisor's phone. And then he said, well, he himself recognizes that it's technically illegal, but he spoke on the basis of that same information. Then there is also the Nigerian Communications Commission Act, which also does not allow you to do wiretapping on your own, except it is something that is sanctioned by the court of law. So you cannot come and say, this person said this on his phone. That in itself is a felony. Then, of course, you have national security considerations. In this particular case, it was the National Security Advisor that was mentioned. And then, of course, persons who are affected by this can also, file civil charges and seek redress that they are entitled under Section 37 to privacy. Because there may well be certain individuals in this country who are recording other people when they call you, or you are using some technology to interfere with their privacy. One lesson from all of this is that there is a felony attached to that when there is no court approval that a person's communication should be monitored. Now, it was on the basis of that the DSS now decided to go to court. Now, a number of questions raised in that regard. The first is, Nasir Rufai was quoting somebody else, a third party. What he said, did he say it under caution? He was on television, he was talking on television. If that was an extrajudicial admission, then of course it was not under caution. So it will be problematic in law, as Nnamdi Kanu has argued correctly. The second point is that what is known under the National Security Agencies Act to Nigeria is the State Security Services, not the Department of State Services. So the question in law would be, can a non-existent entity prosecute? The third issue is that the DSS or the SSS does not have prosecutorial powers. That should have been done through the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. Number 4 is that there are national security dimensions to the case. Now, in terms of national security, the issue will be how has a statement breached national security. So there is this intersection between politics and law. And that was why I was saying the other day that national security in Nigeria should not be reduced to the level of politics or conflict between two former friends who are now enemies, as it were. And so there's also that personal leg to it. But the overriding point with regard to national security is that the state, the Nigerian state, is trying to prove a point, which is important, that no individual is above the law. And 2, no individual can overwhelm the Nigerian state, because Nasir Rufai was beginning to sound and behave and overreaching himself as if he's in a position to overreach the Nigerian state, saying, for example, that the APC will not win based on his own decision in a democratic setup. They have such powers. And then calling out persons in government and saying all kinds of offensive things about them. The state must have considered that they also have a responsibility to say, you cannot overwhelm the state and we will put you in your place. Now the other case is the EFCC case, where they are alleging that 432 billion under his watch when he was governor of Kaduna State still has to be accounted for. Now the EFCC has prosecutorial powers. So if on the weight of the evidence and technicalities, his defense counsel are able to get him freed on the TSS matter, and they may even refile the matter and give it to the AGF, and the AGF can file it appropriately. So there are a lot of issues here, but the EFCC can also see, on behalf of the people of Kaduna State, we are looking for 432 billion. But the bottom line of it is about national security, and the point I have made that no individual, no matter how grandiloquent or vocal or confident, can overwhelm the Nigerian state. And I think that's the point that the government of the day is trying to make. There's the other issue about President Tinubu going to Adamawa and Vice President Shetima going to Kanu to receive Governor Abba Yusuf, who defected who resigned from the NNPP January 23, who formerly joined the APC January 25, and now they had a song and a dance yesterday welcoming him into the party. Now, what you see here is Hurricane Tinubu, which has already captured 31 governors of the states, and maybe a few more will still join. 31 out of 36. Maybe they will still get more into the pool. And of course, you will expect that both President Tinubu and Vice President Shetima will be triumphant because it's their party that is bringing more people into the fold. Now, Governor Fintri of Adamawa says he's acting on the choice of his people. We should not say that. He's acting on the basis of what is in his own interest. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State says, well, there are internal disputes within the NNPP and a lot of uncertainty. So it's also an act of self-preservation for him to just go to the APC, the ruling party, particularly at a time when the name of his principal, his godfather, has been mentioned in the Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Bill 2026, that is the Smith-Moore Bill in the House of Reps, and he was named as one of the persons sponsoring terrorism. And in another 39-page document that was released, 3,000-page document, that one is 3,000-page document. It's the same Senator Kwankwanso was also named in that document. So, you may call it self-preservation. Some other people will say it is betrayal. Now, Governor Abba Yusuf has also joined the APC. So it's not about Kano State. It's also about his own self-interest. If your principal is in trouble.
But anyway, he's been charged for intercepting the NSA's phone conversation and the few other things there. What do you make of this charge? And this they say is a diversion from major national issues. But what are your thoughts?
Well, the good question here is why I fight again. If he has gone the way he has gone through with all this kind of careless stuff for him some years back, he has gone through it without being questioned. I think it's high time we start reminding ourselves that we want to do the
I think it's careless talk, because when he was accosted at the airport and they tried to arrest him when he just came from Cairo, Egypt, when they seized his passport, these charges were not part of the things the DSS wanted him at the time. Does it seem like right after that television interview, and he made the statement that he made that he knows someone who hacked into? Does it seem like they didn't have anything against him initially, and he just basically talked himself into that?
Well, probably the initial one was, he has some things to answer with the state government concerning about 400 billion corruption during his state.
So how can that not on the table right now?
I think they will still get it. They will still get it. But this one came like, this one in my place, he said when two trees fall on top of each other, you have to first of all remove the top one to get it. So this one looks warm. I was going to his talks, the way he talks. Remember in 2015, when we were preparing for 2015 election, everywhere was tense, all in the name of Jonathan Moscow. He made some statement there that if the foreign observers that are coming, if they are not careful, body bags.
Only the body bags.
Only the body bags. That was a threat to national security. For such statement to come from an opposition as there, and at the climax of a national election, general election. But Jonathan being who he is, just overlooked it, and even when the election came, he said he won, he handed over. When I look at what he has said again now, that National Security Advisor telephone, somebody acted for you and told you that this was the discussion. Do you know what that means? That means even that telephone discussion of National Security Advisor that we are able to have is an insecurity to one of us that are in this station.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But then, Prince Francis Kilaka, isn't it troubling that
Nigeria's National Security Advisor, Mr. Nuhu Mabadi, can have his car stolen. Isn't it something that he can have evidence within his office, fingered for supporting or aligning with Boko Haram? Isn't it troubling that the NSA himself can, in the public, make statements like some policemen are stealing weapons and selling to terrorists? Isn't it troubling that the Office of the National Security Advisor was also fingered in arming Yetiala individuals with logistics, cars, and weapons to help Nigeria, help the Office of the NSA, and Nigeria by extension, fight insecurity in the forest? Isn't it troubling that his phone was bombed? Isn't it troubling that, how then do we have that office, do we have that individual still occupying that office? And what kind of advice can he give to the president at this time?
You rolled out the things I wanted to say, and I think to a large extent, Nigerians, we once we hate somebody, we must kill that person, give him a bad name, like a dog, kill that person. Now, we're not asking questions, and we've raised some of the issues. Why is it that everything that has to do with security, the office of the NSA, has been put on the source? Why is it that, do you know what it means for an NSA? Don't forget, every security apparatus reports to him. And for him to the president. Do you know that it is the height of ineptitude, the height of homelessness, the height of stupidity, that the office of the NSA will admit publicly his phone is hacked?
Then he hasn't come out to my phone.
No, please, he hasn't. No, somebody has responded. Somebody from the office of the NSA responded. He came to press briefing. If the phone of the NSA is hacked, then you know that our security problem has just started.
Please, at this point now, we had enough time to interrogate all of this. Now let's bring it back to verify, the man in the eye of the storm. Everything that is around him now, going about him, anything is political motivated. Do you think it has anything to do with being a member of ADC or 2027?
Well, the steps the government is taking is pointing to that direction. Before now, Malami was in APC because he was a faction of Buhari, that's CPC. The moment he left APC, joined APC, declared for governorship, campaign started. So there is a way you fight corruption that people will not see a hidden agenda in it. First of all, the government actually embarrassed itself at the airport. All that drama was not necessary at the airport. And the man was placed on his ground. The went to arrest him, not have a problem, but do it properly.
Okay, Prince, now you believe it's clearly you're showing that it might be political.
Yes, it is.
Now let's run to Emmanuel Abobo, because we try to make sure from the Emmanuel, I understand that. I'm sure that you're still with us, and if you are, if you look at what is going on between Nasser El-Rufai and Nuhu Mabadi, the National Security Advisor, former LCT Minister on the other side, talking about El-Rufai, former Kaduna State Governor and former LCT Minister. In all of this, between the two of them, in all that has happened, who would you describe as a hero and the villain there between the two of them? But what's going on? Let us understand their perception of all that is happening between them.
See, I would want to say that El-Rufai has lost it. You would agree with me that the commenter earlier before me said that in 2015 he made mention about body bag and even threatening to run a parallel government. And he believes that those same ideology or those same philosophies of his will still work under Tinubu, forgetting that Tinubu was the major that brought about the Buhari government. Let me say this and say this very clear. The thinking behind El-Rufai's statement is just this northern supremacy of the thing. If it were to be Nnamdi Kanu, with the EFCC not arresting him at the airport there, you saw how he was moving around with northerners all in northern attire, saying that they cannot arrest him. My brother, if the directive from the EFCC chairman is to arrest El-Rufai, he will be arrested. Northern card, this add one card all the time, believing that this issue of ethnicity will be what will always stand. And for me, I feel very disappointed in the kind of politics El-Rufai is playing. I'm sincerely telling you, these people are not coming out to tell us what they will do to manage Nigeria better. They are only fighting for their common interest of how they will continuously remain in the corridors of power. What is the ideology behind the ADC? When I look at virtually all of them in that political party, managing Nigerian common patrimony for years. Look at David Mark. So when I look at all these people, I just shake my head. But the issue of El-Rufai should know that the Office of the National Security Advisor is a very delicate office when it comes to the issue of security of lives and property. And when you see somebody like El-Rufai saying that they've been able to tap the phone of the NSA, it goes a long way to tell you that these are the guys sponsoring insecurity in this country. If you can tap an NSA's phone, is it my phone or your phone that they cannot tap? And where on earth did they get those devices to tap the NSA's phone? And who is also supporting them? Who is also supporting them to do all of these things? And where are they getting the technology for? To do all? Because for you to tap a phone, you must also have a network facility. So what this implies is that these people are also running a counter-security technology system against the government of Nigeria. That amounts to treasonable felony. Because you want to take power at all costs. For crying out loud, El-Rufai, the Minister of FCT, he has been Director of PPE, he has also been a governor.
Well, this will be. Well, thank you very much.
Nigeria or Nigeria that they are not given opportunity to do. So sending a wrong message.
Yes, there's a lot to unbundle in all of this, but we don't have all the time to do that right here on this show. But we'll pick it up some of the time, I'm sure, because the events are, developing. So we'll pick it up some of the time. Thank you very much for coming on the program. Emmanuel Abrogan, Public Affairs Commentator and Human Rights Advocate, member coalition of civil society organizations. Thank you for your time. And big thanks to Prince Francis Chilaka, Public Affairs Commentator, and Elvis Ademehele, also the Public Affairs Commentator. I do expect that Elvis will stay with us into the very.
This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died, that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I touched me. Remember when me tell you say I touched me. Yeah, I remember that one that called aspirations.
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore their pride. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, forever be a part.
They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We bled in our history that the death of our people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bummed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali, 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 Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in our heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a gas, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Yeah, put the flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah.